Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth.
Now, your orbital mechanics requires a plane of reference in order to describe that. And then if you want to move it out to Saturn after you've utilized the plane of reference to just try to describe how Saturn's rings works, more power to you, but you started with a plane of reference.
Yeah, your position on that plane of reference.
I was watching Cathexis channel and QE at the time, as was Validation Boy, but he was obviously paying more attention than I was, because he came out with a video off the back of one of QE's discussions with Cathexis, saying every single claim to be globe proof that exists will start with the assumption that there is a globe already in effect below your feet. Now, when he said that, I was like, wow, that's absolutely profound and true. They all start with the assumption of the R value. In the case of the time-wise where this got named as well, begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator assumes R. It's right there in the calculation. And is it assumed? Well, Mick West, who makes that calculation in the case of Metabunk, says, yeah, it's just assumed. So that's where we're at. But these days, far more advanced in terms of the argumentation. We probably wouldn't have formulated the housekeeping question in the way that it is today if we made that question. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
It'd be a very different question.
It's the start. It's the start of it all. It's like the massive cornerstone of a building that's really significant thing. Like it's the beginning of everything. It's what you presuppose at the beginning of it all is like the foundation of the entire dream.
Right. Well, that's why it gets the title housekeeping. It's because you can lose track of these sorts of things as you progress in your argument. So someone comes to the show and they just hear you can't get an elevation angle measurement from a curved baseline. You're going to need a flat Earth for that if you're taking an angle to a star and getting your fix by minusing the angle from 90 and timesing by 60 to, to develop a line of position. And then if you do it, people will find that complex because it is. No disrespect to anybody who doesn't understand it at this stage. Fine. It took me enough repetitions from 10th. It took me about a year to understand it. Well, if you come to the show and that's all we've got to offer, how are you going to realise that, no, there is no molten iron core, no, there is no space, no R for Earth being a sphere is automatically assumed. No, there is no Coriolis effect. No, there is no axial rotation. No, there is no Earth-based horizon. If you don't keep repeating those things, it's like saying, well, my hotel looks after the rich and famous in the penthouses, so I'm not going to be dusting the lamps in the crappy rooms. Like, no, you still got to do that. You've got to keep doing that. You still got to dust the lamps every day. And dusting the lamps is asking if there's any evidence of a molten iron core or physical geometric sphere edge horizon or axial rotation.
Yep. And how funny was that when is it around 2020 that before that time, the ballers still thought that they had some kind of a lead for the measurement of the R value, right? For the radius or the circumference that they could measure it. But then because of the black swan observations, now suddenly they even lost that one last line they had to any physical claim about it. Because now suddenly refracted, now they can't measure it anymore. And they just did it just like that, even though that was like the last straw for them to hold on for like the last rope that held the balloon tied down to the Earth, basically. And now it's all gone. Wouldn't you say?
It's all gone. How terrible. Yeah, I mean, although we didn't ask them all individually and get answers, I think I pretty much covered all of them in that little ramble. So that's it for housekeeping. Did anybody see Flatzoid's response to Quantum Eraser by any chance?
Was that yesterday's stream?
No, he published it in the last 12 hours.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was following on from the discussion that we were obviously critiquing with the dude, the big-headed dude that didn't really know much and hand-waved everything. You know what I'm talking about? Yesterday.
I was here yesterday during FED, but I didn't really follow any other streams beside that.
No, fair enough. Bacon, we've had you here before. Your name's familiar. I can't remember why. Anybody recall why I'm familiar with that Bacon guy? He's dropped immediately.
He ran away when John asked about the planar reference for his orbital mechanics assumption.
Oh, that's where we got to last time. So it's not me that's directly asking you something. Hey, Bacon. He's got mic issues.
I'm good.
Hello.
So,
Do you recall the end of your discussion last time you were here with John about a plane of reference?
in a reference? No.
But of your orbital mechanics.
Oh, the three-body problem?
Yeah, that's where you get your orbital mechanics from. You need a plane of reference.
Well, it kind of makes sense for two bodies, I guess, not for three.
Hold on, let me try to explain it to you. The two-body and three-body problems deal with the problems of calculating orbits, right?
Yeah.
Right. To calculate orbits, they are measured from a plane of reference.
What do you mean?
Apogee and perigee uses a plane of reference to get the angle change from our position on the surface to what we're going to describe as orbits.
The n-body problems are not related to surface. Usually deal with the bodies as point masses.
Right. It's a step past the point that we made to you, is that your problem is after you've already got a flaw within your assumption for these problems.
Oh, what assumption?
The orbits, right? The two-body problem of orbits within Einsteinian, or the three-body problem of orbits within Newtonian.
Yeah, I still don't understand what you mean by the plane of reference. Seems like you're referring to the surface of something, which I'm not connecting to the three-body problem actually is.
To describe the orbit, right? Or to calculate.
Yeah, but we describe them in terms of the position of the bodies in space. Those are like XYZ coordinates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, but that's with respect to a flat plane, because that is your plane of reference. Those in space, as you say.
How is it relative to a plane if those are three coordinates, like X, Y, and Z? That doesn't fit a plane.
There you go. Now you're getting it. You just got to hear NASA say it now, so you can really get it.
But does he? He said it, but does that mean he gets it? Was he saying it like that's a defense? You understand that you require the XYZ coordinate system flat plane to describe their position in space now. So you need a flat plane for this.
XYZ is a flat plane. It's just a three-dimensional coordinate system.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, so
yes.
I don't get it.
You don't get how a three-dimensional coordinate system is horizontal and vertical, and you have a horizontal reference plane within that system. You don't understand that.
And it's not wrapped around a globe specifically.
Sure, but that plane is not like a real thing. It's just a part of the coordinate system. It's not a surface. It's not a planet. It's not anything. I mean, it's just a coordinate system.
No. That's not what your citations will say. You need to go back and look, because they're always in reference to the equatorial plane, or the orbital plane, or the ecliptic plane.
Okay, I mean, you can do that, but there's actually no need for the coordinates to be.
What's the use of it then?
With
so what's the use? You're saying there's no need to do that. What's the purpose if you don't do that? What's the use of this? That got your tongue?
Use of what?
Doing it, full stop. What would be the point?
Doing what?
Measuring things with respect to the ecliptic plane or the equatorial plane. You said, well, you don't need to reference it to anything. Okay, and I'm asking, okay, notwithstanding that reply, why would we bother doing it at all? What would it be useful for if we don't reference it to one of those planes that you've now denied because it absolutely required flat planes to do this? And you're denying them. And I'm saying, well, if you deny them, why would we be doing this? What use does it serve? Third time.
Predict the relative position between the bodies.
For what?
It's just what the body problem is. It's predicting the relative position between the bodies.
It's just a problem within an Einsteinian mathematics or a Newtonian mathematics. How does that bear any relevance to me in reality whatsoever then?
I don't know. It didn't say this.
So it's a meaningless folly. So it's just a globe believer masturbating then. Pointless folly. Totally superfluous to anything in reality. We could just figure out the 2 or 3 body problem within their maths. Who cares? Do you not know where you are? This is a debate about reality. Who cares?
That was not the debate that was having that time where you interjected. We were just talking about the 2 body problem, not as a proof of the globe or anything like that. That wasn't the context of the conversation.
It's not a proof of the globe. It's a proof of a flat plane. We're trying to drill this into you, but you keep denying the flat plane that's utilised whenever it gets utilised. In your descriptions that you are using to claim that we have orbital mechanics around a sphere, and when it gets to the flat plane requirement, you deny the flat plane and say, well, you don't need to reference it to anything. And then when I say, oh, what are we debating about this for? Oh, I'm just debating about a 3-body math problem. Go to a maths forum. We are interested in physical reality. If you're interested in maths problem, why are you here? We deal with physics, not maths.
Oh, you're going to use a lot of maths when dealing with physics, right?
What does physics mean?
Really?
Stop. What does physics mean?
I'm not sure how to define that.
So why did you tell me it'd have something to do with numbers?
Can you solve for any...
Don't ask me a question, answer my question.
Numbers?
You've just told me physics has something to do with numbers. I asked you to define physics, you can't. Now I'm asking you why you tell me something you can't even define would have anything to do with numbers when you don't even know how to define it. Why would it have anything to do with anything in your brain? You don't know what it is. Don't tell me it's got anything to do with numbers. It doesn't. It's physics. Maths deals with numbers. Physics isn't maths. You've just told me, well, I'd have a lot of numbers in it. No, it wouldn't. You don't need to talk to me. You just need to shut up while I correct you about the word that you didn't understand. That would be physics. It's not maths. It's something else. Not maths. Physics. That's what we deal with.
I didn't say the word the same thing. I said it uses it.
Does it? Define it.
Physics uses
Define
math.
physics.
I'm not sure what's the definition.
So why are you telling me what it's for the second time? You're this arrogant that you need, after disclaiming that you don't even know what the word means, to tell me for a second time that it's got a lot of numbers in it. Well, like maths. Now that's something else. Second time you're going to get me really irritated really quickly unless you acknowledge that maths, dealing with numbers, isn't physics and won't have a lot of numbers in it because that would be maths. That's the third time.
Well,
Meanwhile,
I have a problem with it.
Meanwhile, you need a flat plane for your orbital problems. XYZ? Yeah, that's with respect to a plane, isn't it? No, you just want to argue about definitions for physics. That's not maths. You've gone all silent when it comes to the plane. Oh, has he run away again? Yep. All right. When it comes to the plane, that you can either... What? No, that's not really relevant to what I'm talking about. Just got a maths problem. No, we're talking about the physics of reality. Well, bye-bye. Off you go. Because you can't accept that something you can't define hasn't got numbers in it, as you're disclaiming over and over again. At that point, you run away. What? Because you can't admit that you're wrong. You don't even know what physics means, but you're going to tell me it's got a lot of numbers in it. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Physics doesn't utilize math because you can formulate the scientific method applied without using a single number or calculation thing. Anything. It's purely descriptive. It actually specifically doesn't require math. That's what's so awesome about physics.
But the whole thing is, right, it's kind of his point about, I'm just arguing about a three-body problem within the orbits and how I calculate them. How are you not going to accept that the orbits, the elements to that orbit, and the Keplerian and the orbital mechanics elements, the very basis of this, so it require a flat plane, and you're just going to hand wave that? What kind of delusion is that?
No, but because it's like a movie studio, like a movie they're shooting, right? There's going to be wires, there's going to be boom cams, but if all possible, you try to erase those out of the film afterward, right? And that's what they do with that required flat plane they need everywhere. It's there, but they have to like remove it for their
Physics
mind
is the
for
study of nature.
disbelief to work.
Hold on a second, Darwin. Say again, banned truth.
Physics is the study of nature.
Not numbers, then.
Well, we observe bodies orbiting each other.
Do we?
Really?
Yes.
Where do we observe
Where?
that?
What do you think Saturn's rings are?
I don't know.
A
You tell
light
me.
in the sky.
You
Of
tell
course
me.
you don't know, because you want to assert a flat plane before you actually correctly make an assessment of what you're observing.
I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
no,
I said
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know. Hold on, Arwin. I said I don't know, and you tell me that I want to assert something when I say I don't know. Bit defensive, aren't you?
Yeah, you say you don't know because there's no way to explain
You don't need to
orbital
assume
mechanics
why
with
I
a
said
flat
it.
plane.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to assume why I say I don't know. I'll tell you why if you like. It's because I don't know what they are.
He just said that
Well,
you can't use
so.
you
Physicists
can't
know what it
explain
is.
orbital mechanics. He just said you can't explain orbital mechanics using a flat plane when orbital mechanics, the elements of orbital mechanics, and the Keplerian elements, which are involved in that, require a plane of reference. And you're telling us that we need you need the plane more than we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
math requires the
not a
flat
physical
plane.
plane. It's an imaginary plane. It's just perpendicular to the axis of rotation.
Uh,
It's just essential for the math
So-
to do anything.
hold on. So to
Perpendicular.
assert an axis of rotation requires a flat plane also.
Yeah, but it's not a
Perpendicular
physical
requires the
flat.
surface be flat.
Yeah, perpendicular.
What are you talking about?
The last three statements you
Perpendicular
gave.
to the y-axis of the body.
Yeah, that's a flat plane you're referencing.
That doesn't mean it's physical.
Oh, okay. Back to the question I asked the other guy. So how useful would this be exactly for anything in regards to a debate about the nature of Earth? You've piped up because of what exactly? How are we going to use
Because
this
we
then?
observe orbital mechanics, which is studying nature. We study the nature
we
of
observe
matter,
them.
and then we see orbital mechanics. It's observational.
From where? From the ground.
Yes.
Yes, so it's in reference to how we
And
see
in
things
space,
from the ground
same
then.
observation.
My bad. I can't respond to you.
Yeah, I know. My bad.
Yeah, so it's in reference to how we see things from the ground then.
I just want to know what causes orbital mechanics on a flat
yeah. So it's in reference to how we see things from the ground then.
Yeah, we're not asserting a cause. We're pointing out that your description requires Earth to be flat.
You have to like
Well,
it.
I'm interested in
We're not
cause.
making this as a positive claim. It's your positive claim that is utilizing a flat plane, and now you're denying it.
I don't deny the two-dimensional horizontal plane perpendicular to the y-axis of a rotating body. I don't deny that.
And you use that to describe orbital motions of stars that we see from the ground, correct? Yes, it is correct. You need a flat Earth to describe these orbits.
Yes.
Yes, welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah, but it's still a round ball
but
when you look at physical sphere.
No, not yeah, but yeah, that would be you, are describing motions of lights with respect to a flat plane. Welcome to Flat Earth. Earth is flat.
We observe different orientations of Saturn's rings that are wrapping around what appears to be a ball.
That's really interesting.
It appears, does it?
So even though there's a two-dimensional plane that everything is perpendicular to on that ball, that doesn't mean that Saturn's now a
So you
flat
can't
plane.
be perpendicular
still a
on a
physical
ball.
sphere.
What are you talking about? With
He's
respect to
talking
the
about
axis,
things-
we covered this. You'll need a flat
Saturn is a
Earth to
sphere,
be
that's what I'm talking
with
about.
respect to an axis. You'll need a flat Earth for that too. We already covered that. You just rumpused us and talked through us because you didn't like the sound of it, like you're about to do now. Yes, when you describe with respect to the ball and its axis, that too requires a flat plane to describe.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're going to be describing everything ball-related, according to you, from a flat plane.
I'm describing Saturn's rings specifically.
Yeah, and if you're going to be describing them with respect to their orbital motion, you'll be doing it with respect to a flat plane.
And you're disrespecting the sphere that those flat planes are perpendicular to.
Sorry, you can't be perpendicular. He's not listening, isn't he, Joe? You try. I tried twice.
The
You tried
y-axis
once.
of the rotating body.
Perpendicular. Oh, pardon me, sir. Perpendicular is 90 degrees to the vertical. Horizontal
Yeah,
in
I know
nature.
that. That's why I keep saying it.
Right? Okay, 90 degrees. 90, not curving.
I say
So
because I
not
know what it
to
means. Thanks.
Not on a sphere. You're not getting perpendicular on a sphere.
Yes, I told him twice. He
That's not what I
he didn't
said.
like it. Like now, he didn't want to hear it.
Perpendicular to the y-axis of the body. The
Yeah.
rotating body. It rotates on its y-axis.
No.
Perpendicular
no
to that
rotating
is the
body.
two-dimensional plane.
Yeah, we heard the first 3 times. And we said to describe the axis of rotation will require a flat plane. To describe it also, that is 4 times.
Okay, we don't got to go through it again.
Well, why don't you accept it? Because it means acceptance of
I
the
never
fact that...
denied it.
Oh.
I'm just saying it's rotating around a sphere.
No, it isn't. The description of axial rotation requires a flat plane. To describe it, that is 5 times. Repeating it a 6th time won't alter the rebuttal you've heard 5 times and ignored.
You're literally trying to alter reality that Saturn is
Am I?
not a sphere.
Sorry, you think perpendicular is with respect to a curve? No, you are trying to alter reality. Perpendicular is with respect to a flat plane. That's how we're describing this
the
stuff.
y-axis goes
My
through the
bad.
center of-
My bad. I know it's painful, but we will need a flat Earth for your descriptions that you think relate to an axis of rotation that is described from a flat plane 6 times.
Now
Do you
he's
really
trying
think
to
Earth is
he's really
two-dimensional,
trying to
though?
say
Someone
that.
else has got something to say, John. Go ahead, John.
Oh, I was just going to say now he's going to try to take you to the center of the sphere to take the measurements, but you can only do the measurements with respect to the plane of reference. Therefore, the plane must be referenceable. So he's going to take you a place you can't reference to say that's your plane of reference. It's absurdity.
Right, because they are like the strings in the movie that they have to edit out in their minds, right? They have to use them or it won't work, but they can't recognize it's there. So they have to
You
edit
didn't
out
find a flaw
post-production.
in orbital mechanics. You just have a problem with it.
We didn't describe a flaw. We described the necessity to use a flat plane. That's not describing flaws. It's describing necessities for a flat Earth.
That flat plane is not a physical two-dimensional plane. That's not
Right,
what's
so
happening.
what are we using it for? We're back to this, rinse and repeat. So we're not standing looking at stars and describing their motion with orbital mechanics anymore because you lose. And to do this, we will reference a flat Earth. Therefore, we're not doing it with reference to anything like the last guy. Now, you've taken 6 round around do-si-dos. Are you going to run away like the last guy too?
You can see the orientation of Saturn's rings change over the years,
Yes. fascinating
indicating
stuff.
that it is not two-dimensional.
And so it absolutely is. You don't have binocular vision to the stars.
So you think Saturn's two-dimensional?
I said, and I will repeat, you do not have binocular vision to the stars. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
So they are absolutely,
means
so
you
they
see in
are
3D, yeah.
absolutely without question two-dimensional. You are wrong.
So Saturn is 2D to you?
You have not got, but do we need to do this 7 times too? Are you slow? Do it need
No,
to
we're
repeat this a
moving
second
forward.
time? You've acknowledged, but you don't have binocular vision to it. Do you understand it? You said yes. Now you're repeating it. Like, am I suggesting it's not three-dimensional? What, with my binocular vision, I've got to confirm that? No, I've already overcome this twice, but you seem to feel the need to talk through the second rendition of it. Why? Because it's painful. We're highlighting how your orbital mechanics needs a flat Earth. You're then going to go to the stars and tell me that they are definitely 3D when you don't have binocular vision to them.
Yeah, Saturn is an object. It's three-dimensional.
What, when you don't have binocular vision to it?
You could see the...
You could, but you're not going to because I've overcome this crap, and you're not going to rinse and repeat it for 3, 6, 9, 12 times. No, you're not going to establish three-dimensionality to those stars. I've overcome it 3 times. No.
Well, physicists do because they study nature.
Oh, do they? Oh, appeal to someone else you're not. Physicists do that. What's physics?
It's not just appealing to someone else. It's appealing to the study of nature.
Oh, right. And what study did they do?
They studied the orientation of Saturn's rings over the years.
All right, that's a phenomena, is it?
Yeah, its orientation changes.
All right, if it's a phenomena and this is physics, I understand your claim. You're saying the orientation of the rings of Saturn is something studied by physicists, and I don't need to be talked through while I summarise the point you're making that you can clearly detect is going to get ripped apart immediately. You don't need to rumpus me summarising your garbage. I'll just summarise it again.
Well,
I'll try to. Me. Oh, you will rumpus me summarising your garbage.
I let you speak, bro.
Why, thank you. Yeah, I don't need to do anything else other than say you need a flat plane for every single claim you've made here.
Yeah, you're not referencing the same flat plane, which is imaginary. You're not referencing Earth when you're looking at Saturn's rings.
Are you not?
2 different orientations anyway.
Sorry,
it's not the same horizontal plane.
Is it not going to be described with orbital mechanics by you after we look at the stars and describe how we see them from the ground? Have we not covered this already? I'm pretty sure we have.
You're not measuring from Saturn to give you the description of the orbital mechanics of Saturn's rings. Right? We're talking about the bodies as they move through the celestial dome or celestial sphere, if you're going to describe it that way. We're talking about those motions and how they relate. Now, your orbital mechanics requires a plane of reference in order to describe that. And then if you want to move it out to Saturn after you've utilized the plane of reference to just try to describe how Saturn's rings works, more power to you, but you started with a plane of reference.
Yeah, your position on that plane of reference is a tangent.
Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth. A tangent to what? A sphere you automatically assume is below the plane of reference. Nah, you establish the horizontal plane of reference with respect to the ground that you are standing on, not with respect to an imaginary sphere beyond imaginary tangent point. No, my friend.
You know you can have a horizontal on a ball, right?
Right, when we're measuring angles, we would acquire their position, their elevation, with respect to a horizontal line of reference. A globe won't give you that.
I think what he's trying to say is you can take a level and set it on top of a ball, but it'll only intersect that ball at one point. But that's irrelevant to the point, because if you're going to say surface level is curving, you can't use Earth curve mathematics to assert there's a tangent there, because within the mathematics itself, surface level is a horizontal plane. So no, you're wrong.
Anything else?
Sorry, I was sending a text.
Of course you were. You're being annihilated for your basis of a tangent, but you were sending a text?
You're asserting that Saturn's 2D.
I thought you were sending a text. Were you paying attention to what was being said, or are you lying about needing to buy some time by saying you were doing a text?
You're arguing.
You seem to be telling us about what we're arguing about. Considering you've just told me you're sending a text, I'm not going to let you have the mic, because you claimed to not be paying attention only moments earlier. Why would I let you respond? You were sending a text. Do you need us to repeat it so you can pay attention to it and digest it when you're not sending a text?